All right. Top of the hour. We'll get back to Michigan, Bama. We'll get back to Lions, Cowboys. I wanted to spend one brief moment on last night, which was the Pistons. And look, there's no chair drops. I'm not going to do some rant on Goris, whatever. But they're up 66-47 at the half. All right. I know you're in Boston. But the Celtics, Jaylen Brown didn't play, and the Celtics in the opening half weren't there mentally. They weren't. Now, the same thing that helped you in the first half hurt you in the second half. And what do I mean by that is the Celtics went into halftime and went, we are not losing to these bums. Pull your head out of your ass. Let's play 24 minutes of good ball and beat these idiots. And within 7 minutes in the third quarter, your lead had vaporized. Now, throughout this, I have not had some big anti-player stance here. These players don't want to be bad. They don't try to lose. I think they're built to lose. I think the coach is failing them. I think the franchise has failed them. Here's my point. If you want to take anything out of this deal, Cade Cunningham is displaying none of the traits you would associate with a lot of the younger players in this league on losing teams. Do I think the losing's getting to him? Of course I do. But it's not affecting him in a negative manner. He isn't lashing out. He's not tanking it on the court. He's not lazy. He's doing everything in his power to try to carry this team. And whether it was the 41 points the other night against the Nets, whether it was the first half against the Celtics here where he dropped, 22? I'd be encouraged in that there's been a lot of anti-Cade rhetoric. You don't want him, there'll be a lineup of 29 other teams who do. I will just tell you, it's not going to last forever where him and his people keep the positive attitude. The losing's got to stop. Now, I can only tell you how I would handle this if I repped him. If I repped him, we're out of here. We're out of here. I'd be the first player in league history to turn down the rookie extension. I'd hit the market. I get paid either way, and I'm not going to be here. And whatever money I'm leaving on the table, it'll be made up in the long term when I become an all-NBA player. I'm not being smarmy saying that. But as you sit here now, outside of Cade and Duren, what else is there, really? Because I was talking about this with someone I know who covers the league, and it was like, all right, let's say you had to say who are the untouchables on this roster. Well, if they're not changing management and they're not willing to tear it down and they have a belief that they're close, the only untouchables are Cade and Jalen Duren, which means I might make a horrible mistake with Asur Thompson and moving him, and then he turns into some second-team All-NBA 3-and-D guy. But Killian's not an asset. Jaden Ivey can't play with Cade. So how much value does he have to me? And then there's Asur. But David, look, I'd be encouraged in that the players are trying, man. They're doing the best they can. They fought last night. They battled. You had Bogey with the tip in late. They're just, when do they win? I have no idea. I don't have a line for the game this weekend. I mean, could they beat the Raptors? Sure, it's possible. But if they don't, look at that schedule. With a West Coast trip looming, playoff caliber teams. I mean, the Houston Rockets are a playoff caliber team. The West Coast swing speaks for itself. The Kings come here. You know, you'd be facing the Spurs, who they blew out the Blazers last night. And again, I know the Blazers stink, but so do you. Guys, I don't know. I thought last night was going to be the night for a time where you're up 20. Celtics are just not mentally in it. I mean, you couldn't win. Couldn't get it done. I mean, David, the Cade thing is real. Like, he's doing everything he can, but it's going to come a point. His people are just going to be like, yeah, we're getting up out of here.
Yeah, it's just not working for him. Right now, I'm seeing 4.5 for the game on FanDuel tomorrow.
What, Raptors laying 4.5?
Yes. So here's what I'll say, because I'm not one for moral victories. I want actual victories. But I was proud of what I saw from the team yesterday. Maybe call me crazy or whatever, because I really thought going into Boston you would just say, you know what, just give up. Yeah. Boston's really good.
They tried, man.
And they tried. They played their best, and they really tried down the stretch. They're just not that good.
No,
they can't close.
It's more of an indictment on – truly, it's more of an indictment on Troy Weaver. That you've built a team that I don't think they're quitters. I don't think they don't want it. They're so poorly constructed. They're so poorly designed. It's not that they don't want to win. They can't win.
That's what it is. You're exactly right. But Cade, to that point, I mean, he's trying his best, but at some point, your reps will just – you're right. They'll say, you know what, this just isn't working for us. You just cannot sit in losing for that long in your career.
Yeah, and look, if they don't beat Toronto, you are, what, 2-30?
Yes.
New Year's Day.
Yep. 0 for the last 2 months of the season.
And starting month number 3 on a West Coast swing. And I just continue to say it. There has to be change. And Goris mentioned change, but couldn't mention what would change. I don't know how you can keep going this way. So I'm with David. I don't like moral victories. I had no expectation they'd win that game last night. They battled their ass off. The Celtics are just too good for them. I mean, think about this. Porzingis is the 3rd or 4th option on the Celtics, depending on the night. If Porzingis played here, he'd be option 1 and 1A. Like in a heartbeat. You're not on the same planet as them. Drew Holiday is option 4. He's a 3 on any other team in the league. He's a 2 on a playoff team, and he's a 1 on your team. Again, like, I can't be mad. But if you can't win last night, it's a lot like Oregon State's quarterback. If you can't hit an open man by 15 yards, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, Kenny's been yelling in here at the TV.
I told you Gulberson was terrible. You didn't want to believe me. He's really an awful quarterback. But these bowl games, this is the problem. These are 3rd and 4th string kids who aren't supposed to be playing. He's just not.
I do not like this Guberman person.
It's Gulberson.
It's whatever I say it is. He was wide open.
Kenny's furious.
Spicy, man. He's spicy.
I like it. By the way, shout out Oregon State, 1 rushing yard. Oh, boy. It's almost like you took MSU staff from last year and brought it to Corvallis. 248-539-9797. But we are going to get with the people. We got a lot to talk about with Michigan, with the Lions, and we'll do it all. We'll do it next.